The Swami Vishnudevananda lecture, 1986 at the New York Ranch. It's the week that he learned the hot air balloon. 1986, he talks about a variety of subjects. It's a night lecture at a satsang.
The astral body. The physical nerve is only counterpart, the gross portion of the astral nadi. So the physical body radiates the astral body. Because physical body cannot radiate any energy. It's like the bulbs are shining. It's not the light coming from the bulb, because behind the bulb there is electricity. We all know the electromotive force or electrons, and positive and negative energy that makes the light glow. Same thing, the body is like a bulb. That electricity has to come from the astral body prana, and that comes to nadis, physical as well as astral. And there are major nadis of 72,000 nadis. Chinese call it meridians. And they use various needles and pins on the meridians to increase the pranic flow or reduce or shortcut the pranic flow. So there is a system, an energy system in your body that's called prana. And you have to recharge this particular system, just like you feed your body with the chemical substance like carbohydrates, fat, protein, minerals and vitamins. These are the chemical things. Body absorbs to a certain amount of prana from these material things, from the food, water, air and the sunlight. But that is mostly the chemical nature. But even the chemical food contains prana. The dead food, like in the meat, chicken, etc., they're dead. There's very little prana. But in life, the plants, like that, the shining of this beautiful plant, you can see how beautiful that flower shines. That's radiation of the prana. And you just give to a person, a sick person, or a loved one, a flower, one simple flower, rose, a real flower. It changes the vibratory level because there's tremendous prana, and the prana of the body also will change according to the nature of the prana, life force coming from that. That's why we give flowers to a sick person, or on a birthdays, etc., anniversaries, we bring flowers. Suppose you bring flower, so ordinary flower, you brought a plastic flower. Your husband gave you plastic flower during the birthday? Have you given plastic flower in a birthday? He only gives real flower, is it not? Huh? No? Well, when he was, he gave.
Real then.
Real, right. So anyhow, flower comes, at that time you are happy. But a plastic flower you give, you are not happy, because there is no prana, dead. Same thing, food also, the live food, like vegetables, that's the only source of prana for us, plus the air we breathe, and little from the sunlight. So this electric force coming, electrical energy coming from the material things, and especially by breathing. That's why yogis concentrate on the breathing exercise. So your body contains two types of energy. We call it static energy and kinetic energy, or the energy we call it in a suspended state or in an active state or dynamic state. A simple example is this water is made up of hydrogen, oxygen, we know H2O, so also ice. And the ice is very static. Its motion, its energy is very limited because it's condensed. Its atoms are not vibrating. But when it comes to the water state, if you bring that water from a river to a dam and convert it into a small area and divert it to a small area and bring it, it can turn huge turbines and generates electricity. We know that. So in the ice state, it cannot do. So the water is subtler than the ice. That's called the energy in the dynamic state, but still it's not completely dynamic. When you convert that into steam, then it has got more power than the water liquid state. So you can see steam engines and all other things run by the steam. And still the steam itself is not still dynamic, fully dynamic state unless it has been converted into original state, hydrogen, oxygen. And in the hydrogen, very powerful explosion takes place, and oxygen burns the fire more brilliantly and powerfully. And still it is not powerful enough unless it still changes in its original state, the purest form of wave. That's called atomic theory. That hydrogen atom is destroyed or brought together. It becomes either you call it nuclear reaction, and at that time you create nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb. Sometimes you combine the matter. At that time you call it the energy release is powerful. So also when you break an atom, we all know, you create tremendous energy. And this piece of metal is gross, static, but still it's vibrating. Ask any scientist, it moves. But the motion is very limited. We can't see it. For us, perception, it is solid. So solid, liquid, etc. is only our perception, but it's all vibrating. But our vibration in a very low state, you call solid. But when you convert that solid into, don't worry about that, just leave him alone. If you try to create more problems. Later on you trap him. Okay. The energy, when it's been converted into real dynamic state, that mass contains enough energy to blow up the whole New York. By using the formula E equal to mc squared, energy is mass. Mass is nothing but energy, but when it's multiplied by the speed of light and multiplied by itself, using that formula, this piece of matter contains enough energy to blow up a huge city, vaporize everything. So in a static state it has got no power, but in the kinetic state is more powerful. Same thing with us also. The prana exists, first of all, the two types of prana, energy. Chemical energy, like a car contains a combustion chamber, and that petrol, gasoline is converted into energy so that the motor will start functioning, and that energy is applied on the wheels to the gears. So the car moves, we all know that. That's called chemical nature. But also there's the electrical energy, a battery, which also is used to start the car, where the motor turns so that dynamo can be recharged. Dynamo can be used to start the engine, and then light, heat, electric, radio, tape recorder, many electrical gadgets are there in your car. They are not chemical, they are all electrical in its nature. And so the two types of energy in a car, chemical as well as electrical. And the chemical combustion is depending upon the electricity which comes to spark plugs and then gives energy enough to burn that gasoline. We all know that simple technique. It's like this lamp is burned because of combustion. So also our muscles are actually chemical in its nature, motion. And so there is sugar in our system, what you call glucose. When you eat starch, like a bread, etc., it's been converted into glucose, means easily soluble water material. Carbohydrates made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, we all know. When you put that piece of bread in the water, it doesn't dissolve. But you put sugar, sugar dissolves. Sugar also carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But the starch is also carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, but it's not dissolved because it is not made into smaller water-soluble molecules. That's called digestion. So when you chew that bread, your saliva converts into water-soluble molecules. You call it glucose, and it goes again further in the stomach. Again, is converted into water-soluble sugar. Is stored up in the liver, and then liver sends that sugar into or glucose into the bloodstream. So there is a balance between the blood sugar and the liver sugar. And whenever blood sugar is depleted by using the muscles, as we do, I need combustion. That's what oxygen, inhaled oxygen is coming through the lungs and is brought, and the muscle uses the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and then the energy is used to move my muscles, just like a piston or an engine in your car. So that's chemical combustion. But also there's the electrical nature. The nerves also bring nerve impulses through motor nerves. And when I want to contract my muscles, an impulse coming to the nerves, and there are areas with the nerve ends to your muscle fiber, there is synapses or whatever you want to call it, and then suddenly that impulse is changed, and then the muscle fiber contracts. So that's called electrical impulse. Suppose you cut that motor nerve or the nerve which is coming to the muscle fibers, you feed the muscle fibers vitamins, all the proteins, etc. That comes to the bloodstream. The bloodstream is bringing all the nourishment you are eating. But if you don't bring the nerve current, eventually there's no nerve current coming, the muscle will die. We all know that too. And so the prana, the nerve current is as important as the chemical nature. So your whole body has been connected to the nerves, with the nerves, and some of the nerves called motor nerves, which bring the impulses to your muscles and organs like legs, etc. And some impulses go from the sensory, called sensory, which goes from the senses, from the skin, from the eyes, hearing, taste, smell, etc. It brings the message, impulses to the brain, and brain accepts or rejects. Some of the impulses it rejects, like touching a hot stove. It's very painful. Other impulses are beautiful music, they accept, but a wrong type of sound like that, when you can accept a Veena sound, but when the raccoon start making sound, we couldn't accept that, That's called, so same sound, different sounds. So some we accept, some we reject, some food we like it, some food we reject it, because taste is not good. Though impulses are good, it is good. I mean, some food is better for your body, though it may not be tasty. It's good for the health, but you prefer to have an impulse, a positive impulse, a pleasant impulse than healthy food, That's why you have like hot dogs and hamburgers and dead food. It gives an impulse, but though it's not good for the health, but you accept it. Like smoking, first time when you smoked, the impulse is very bad. Your body starts coughing and throwing out. But you send on a message, come on, keep quiet. It's okay, you can smoke. And eventually it become a habit, create negative habit, become a habit for you to. So the prana means then, this is called energy which is going afferent and efferent currents, or prana, apana, yin and yang, various names are there. So that's called electrical in its nature. So we got two types of system, both physical as well as astral. The electrical energy must come from the astral body and be stored in the astral body. And we recharge the pranamaya kosha, astral body. The solar plexus is the central storehouse of energy, like a car battery stores electricity. It not only starts the car and gives light, etc., but if you continuously start using all the electricity, the same 2-load battery will be dead within 15-20 minutes. So there's a dynamo. As the engine starts moving, the chemical energy is turning the dynamo and convert that again, the magnetic energy, magnetism, into electricity to recharge the battery. So both ways it happens. You start the engine with electricity, and then the combustion, the chemical nature will again recharge through the motor, and the motor starts functioning, it will recharge the battery. So there is give and take, both ways it goes. Same thing, we use the electricity from the astral body, pranamaya kosha, to the physical body, so physical body will glow like a bulb, and then when the body is discharging, we recharge it through food, that's the vegetables, raw food, etc., water, and the sunlight, and the air. And that's the purpose of breathing, to recharge. So this chemical reaction which takes place through the breathing is also affect the subtle nerves, and the energy is to replace what is lost in our daily activities, because prana is necessary for thinking, willing, action, emotions, anger, etc. It takes this energy violently. So also many of our emotions, thoughts, like fear, emotions, etc., anger, etc., devitalize the body. And half an hour, 15 minutes of terrible anger, your body becomes devitalized. You've got no energy. Though chemically there's nothing destroyed, but emotionally it drains out the prana. You always say, oh, I am drained out completely. Then why can't you just fill up with the proteins and carbohydrates? You can easily fill it up. Buy $5 of vitamin pills, that's all. You can easily fill up. But you cannot recharge the drained body by vitamins and proteins, etc. That's why pranayama is important. And many people discharge this prana, and especially one of the worst way to discharge is the too much sexual act. It's a catabolic process, sexual act. Tremendous amount of apana is being used. I'll come to that little later. Maybe this evening I won't be able to finish everything properly, but I'll talk evening also. So there are energy in the body, impulses, which come to the physical nerve. In the astral body, come to the astral nerve called nadis. And they are interconnected. One affects the other. If there is a physical pain, it will affect your thought and your prana. If there is something wrong with your mind and the thought and the prana is disturbed, it will affect your thinking, your physical actions. And as long as the prana comes in a systematic way, then you call it the person is alive and able to perform action like an intelligent person. And this impulse can come by your control, like the muscles. I can control slow motion. Means I am sending the thought motor energy to the motor nerve in a very slow motion. And if I want to go more, again I think I must go faster, 20 times per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And suppose I want to make 80 times, I have to go faster. So according to my thought, the motor nerve brings the impulses, and so thought and prana are interrelated. One affects the other. According to thought, your prana moves, and according to prana, your physical body reacts. So I can also go to very slowly. The same thing happens to your respiratory muscles, just like the biceps and triceps. You got respiratory muscles. The important one is the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. You all know we are breathing for a long time. And just the muscles, you can also control the motion of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles voluntarily. If you are not aware of it, involuntary functions will go on. But even these involuntary functions will change according to your thought. That's called polygraph or lie detector machine. You connect a person with a hook up his respiratory muscles and blood pressure and galvanic skin resistance. This is called electrical in nature, and this is called polygraph. And you can see in the graph, you ask a person's name, what's their name? I'm Mr. So and so. And then suddenly you ask, how old are you? With a person, especially a woman, past 50. Oh, I am 40, 45. And suddenly you can see the breathing pattern changes, blood pressure changes, and the galvanic skin resistance will change. Then by that time, you know that the person told a lie, you see. That's how they detect lies. So every thought changes the breathing pattern, or the impulse coming from the respiratory center to the respiratory muscles is changed. And so the breathing, you may not see ordinarily, but a machine can easily detect these things. But also you can detect in a violent state, a person is very, very angry. I'm going to kill him. The impulse becomes very irregular and disturbed. So yogis say you can control these impulses by controlling the physical breath. Just like I control through my thought the motion of my muscle, same way I control if I want to go fast breathing. Or I want to go slowly, or still slowly. So the contraction of the diaphragm is done very same way. Exactly you are doing it. So you can regulate the prana. What you actually, you can hear only and see my breathing or feel my breathing, but you can't see the motion of the prana. The electricity is going to the wire, but we can't see when you look the wire. You can magnify the wire, still you won't see any electricity or motion of the electrons. So also you can see only the manifestation. When the bulb is shining, we know the electricity is behind, but we can't see the electricity. When the fan moves, you know that electricity is behind the electric fan. When the heater is working, it knows that electricity is behind that heater. Same way, we cannot see the prana, but we can see its manifestation. And when the prana manifests in the physical body, then we breathe. That's called life force or primary force. And this prana we can regulate. That's called pranayama. So when you inhale, you are regulating the impulse to the contraction of the relaxation of the diaphragm, and you retain, you are holding the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, so the impulse won't come at all. You stop the impulse, and then you exhale very slowly with the contraction of the muscles take place in a very regulated way through your own thought. So this is called proportion then, 1:4:2. If you inhale 1 second, you are holding 4 seconds and exhaling twice. So the impulse, if you are inhaling, suppose your inhalation takes 6 seconds, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. That much time you are controlling the impulse in a slow manner. Then retain the breath 24 seconds, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 10, Om 24. That means you are holding that impulse not to come. And then you exhale the impulse in a very slow 12 seconds. It's called 1:4:2 proportion. You can go higher proportion, 8:32:16, or even 16:64:32. Very highly advanced yogis do higher proportions. You can do according to the. So again, all whether it's smaller proportion, lower or higher proportions, the ratio remains always the same, 1:4:2. That means you are learning to regulate this impulse coming, just like you are learning to regulate the muscles. And when you start lifting a weight, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, you can repeat 20 pounds certain time for 20 times, and then 30 pounds 20 times or 30 times. You increase the strength of your muscles, but it's all done through your thought and impulse. The heavy weight lifters, when the concentration is very poor, they will not be able to lift. So their body maybe they only weigh 125 pounds, but they can lift about 200, 300, double their weight. But they have to concentrate. First of all, they have to hold the breath, they have to concentrate, and without the concentration, that the weight, they will not be able to lift. You all know that. Ask any weightlifters how much concentration necessary. So they had a breath control, concentration, thought control, and then only they will be able to lift a heavy weight. And suddenly when they were lifting, suddenly a bad noise or suddenly they lose their strength, that they will not be able to lift that object. The same thing with people playing golf, etc. They are trying to put a tiny ball in a tiny hole. Tremendous amount of concentration. But energy, physical, chemical energy is only very little, because it's only about 5 feet away at the hole, and the ball is so tiny. And we have to put that, doesn't take too much chemical energy. But the psychic and the prana, the concentration, thought, because the thought, the prana, and her eyes, all the vision should be in such a way that will go into the tiny hole. Sometimes they can put 15 feet from a distance. And when suddenly somebody starts talking, they won't be able to finish. they will break their head of the person who disturbed them. They use the club on their head, on the ball. So you see concentration. So you see thought and prana, breath control, physical breath as well as pranic control always go. We can't separate them. In all activities, intense power necessary, you have to concentrate, you need prana, thought control, and the pranic control. So that's why yogis are learning to regulate this prana with proportionately every day, and then it becomes a habit for them. Whenever they think, suddenly, automatically they know how to stop the prana, and their concentration becomes very powerful, the thought becomes very powerful, and yogis can create anything they want. Oh, you missed that. I'm not talking egoistically. I'm just telling you, I left India without a penny. My master said, go ahead, people are waiting. No ticket, no money, no sponsorship. I never knew whom I'm going to meet, where I'm going to see. I absolutely no idea. But in last 30 years, we created all these oceans, is it not? And it brought a training. We never existed this type of training. It brought you here to this yoga place. And I brought some Shankarani from South Africa and Chandra from Washington. And we brought all of you. What's the power? It's not money. There's no money. Still, we don't have any money. We always run without a penny. But still, somehow, 30 years we went on working, and we were able to do things. Even think peace missions like flying over the Berlin Wall, etc. It's not easy. It's a long story. Anyhow, all this is not just a money because of money. It's because the intense pranayama and the thought control we developed during our sadhana, our spiritual practices, and that brought the strength. Still, I can do anything. I don't need a penny. And somehow the money will come and people will come if I really concentrate, that particular thing will take place. And that's called thought. You all have the same power. No one is inferior or no one is superior. The only thing is we are not able to understand the nature of the prana and the thought. We don't believe it. Yesterday, I came out and it was dark, central hall, and the people are going to the darkness. They had to only just pull one button or a switch, you get light. But we don't do that because there's the electricity there. Only thing is you have to switch it on. But we don't do the same thing. We got prana in us, tremendous amount of prana, and we completely block this prana through impurities, negative thoughts, and we are unable to recharge it again as the prana is depleted. Even the recharge takes place very little through your food and ordinary drinking water, etc. And then drugs and other things, chemicals, further destroy the prana or impurities takes place in the nervous system. It's a long subject anyhow. I'll cut short and then I'll explain more detail in the evening. So that prana is this necessary, that's why your body shines. If there's plenty of prana, your face will smile. Your smile has got a special attraction. So your eyes will sparkle. And when there's a prana, there may no old age or wrinkles will not take place. So you see, by taking vitamins, minerals and protein, that's the only cause of your health. Then you can be healthy all the time. Just only very easy. You can buy $10 you have to buy. That's all you have to do. But there's something else which you can't get merely by taking food alone, though there's prana very limited. Like a plastic flower also, some beauty, but it cannot lift you up. So most of the food you are taking is wrong, and the breathing you are only doing shallow breathing. At all you breathe, only you take a deep breath when you smoke, with a filter of course. It's a filter to smoke because you don't want polluted air. So you get that air through the filter. And that way you can have pure air, through the filtered air you are smoking, That's the only thing. This output impurities are resistance. So what we are trying to do is to remove these impurities from the nervous system so the prana can flow easily from astral to the physical, and you can reach our vital chakras, astral chakras, the battery in your astral body, Manipura chakra, through the pranayama by regulating and stopping these impulses. Now I just go for next 10 minutes, like electronics. You may understand more electronics than when it's a prana, apana, yin and yang. The oriental words you may not understand, very difficult. But if I use your own words from your daily life, I think you'll be able to understand prana, apana better. So let us take an electronic gadgets. Okay, give me the flash bulb. Oh, right thing, I got it. Just give me the flash. No, not like that. Bring the flash which you add to flash it.
Yeah.
You can flash it.
Yeah.
Okay, press it.
Yeah.
Don't come in.
Turn it on. Oops,
Okay,
sorry.
that's good. Okay. I'm not an electronic expert, but I know a little bit about it. You also know it. And it gave a tremendous light. You have to recharge again. When you know it's recharged.
Light.
Oh yes, light. Okay, you all know that. Very simple. But the battery which brings this energy is a 3-volt battery or 6-volt battery, but depending upon. But it's a very small, tiny battery. That tiny battery contains only so much electricity which can illuminate a small, tiny bulb. like in your flashlight. You know that too. But the same battery, now you are able to get about 1000 watts or 2000 watts of light. And the process is, there is a condenser or capacitor, or if you don't understand that electronic word, condenser or capacitor, it contains a reservoir to hold electrons. So the battery is connected to a condenser, and electrons are coming, and slowly the condenser is charging. The condenser is very simple again. It is a positive plate, a negative plate. In between there is an insulation. So the positive and negative won't touch each other. But when the current is sent, these electrons start moving from right, left. It is not discharged because there is an insulation. And that's all simple current. And so slowly the electrons are accumulating into the condenser. And when the accumulation took place, it took several minutes. Then you can see here, yes, it is fully charged. It cannot take any more. That just like a balloon, you can only blow certain time, and then beyond that, if air molecules go, it will burst. You all know that. Same thing. Now it's charged, so it's ready to. That small 3-volt battery now is able to give so much energy for a fraction of a second. Of course, I don't know why they. So anyhow, that's a resistor. So two things: a capacitor and resistor. The third one is a transformer. These are three things only you must understand to understand prana. Transformers that this small voltage is converted from 3 volts, we can convert it into 12 volts, or 12 volts can be converted, brought down smaller 3 volts, or a 110 volt household current can be brought into a small 12 volt current in the cameras or the tape recorders which are sometimes plugged. You can plug the 110 volt directly. Though you plug the 110 voltage, it is a step down transformer inside. It reduces the current into 10 volt or 12 volt or 6 volt according to the nature of your tape recorder or radio. So this also called step down transformer, or step up transformer. You increase the voltage to 110 or 220. So the energy can be increased or decreased, called transformers. These three mechanisms exist because I told you your body also both chemical as well as electrical in its nature. And here to charge this, you need a capacitor, and then it is charged. And this capacitor is exactly in your body to exist as centers like chakras or capacitors, stores of the energy. Heart chakras are not charged, it's lying like an unattached, unconnected capacitor. But the lower chakras are active, and that's connected to the lower chakras. The capacitor is connected just like the bulb, it is connected to this bulb. Mostly it is connected to sensual organs and sexual organs. And as the energy builds up in the lower chakras, in the sexual organs, etc., and you become very passionate, and the energy becomes very powerful. You can control your passion. Man can do many crimes during this charging condition where he is unable to release it properly, and you become very passionate. You can do many crimes, even rape, etc., uncontrollable, because its intellect cannot function at that. The reasoning mechanism completely is gone, because energy is functioning only in the lower chakras. For reasoning also you need energy, but it's not going to upper chakras where the reasoning mechanism exists, only go in the lower central sexual organs. And once that is built up energy, then you release that pressure of the energy during a sexual act, and suddenly the body becomes again lifeless. There's not enough prana anymore. It takes long time for the condenser to recharge. This took about 2 minutes or 10 seconds or 15 seconds to recharge, but sometimes your condenser will take recharging after sometimes a day or two to get that full charge again back into order. So everything is just like this flash bulb. So in the sexual experience, what you get is only a flash of this experience of the prana, which comes through the sexual organs. You get an ecstasy for a short time, but it's a catabolic process. So much energy is destroyed. So continuously you go on, flash this, you won't get any, though I go on pressing, you don't get any more flashlight. Nothing is coming, I'm going on pressing. So merely going and hugging and kissing and sexual acts and constantly thinking negative thought, you want to dance and music and cha-cha-cha, ba-ba-ba, and I love you honey, I love you honey. Your thought is only that mantra, you repeat, I love you honey, I love you honey. It discharges constantly your prana, you are not. That's why you have to recharge and you have to wake the condenser to charge. And meditation charges the thought, positive thought, like Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, repeat your mantra and regulate the impulses systematically. As I mentioned before, you are increasing your prana charging capacity, and then there is resistance in your nervous system due to impurities. As I mentioned, the resistance, they're also in the nervous system, and this impurity is coming through the food you take, like meat, alcohol, drugs. Even a headache will contain these impurities, which affects the flow of the prana. Not only the chemical impurities, chemical problems, the liver problems, kidney failure will take place through drugs, and all the other chemical nature, complications to chemical nature, but also chronically also the resistance increases the nervous system. That's why yogis take vegetarian food, pure vegetarian. There is no meat, alcohol, drugs, even coffee and tea contains enough, Coca-Cola contains lots and lots of impurities, and it goes on absorbing in the neurons, because some of the impurities, like coming from the caffeine, from the Coca-Cola and other drugs like cocaine and so forth, many other alcohol, etc. This actually affects your neurons, the nervous system, than anything else. And these impurities can stay there for not only in this life, like some of the impurities brought from the cocaine, and now they got the crack, a new type of powerful pure cocaine, and this lives in the nervous system and the astral body for a long time. Even next life it can carry on, and you have deformity in the next life. Not only in this life you'll have mental problems, psychological, psychic problems. In the next life also it can carry on, and so you'll be born next life as a mental cripple, or you will not be able to use your psychic brain properly, and some of the things will come in the form of a flow of prana very little. At that time you're born without hands and legs, or without proper eyes, and various types of deformities you see in many children. Like in thalidomide case, when the pregnant mothers took that tranquilizer thalidomide, and all their babies were born deformed. You all know the case. So the vibratory level is lowered. At that time, the astral body vibrates in a very low way. Energy doesn't come. It's been actually investigated, and they know it exists. And at that time, the physical body will not grow. For example, it is you can take Kirlian photography. It's a high voltage photography. You all know the Kirlian photography. You take a fingertip and take for a fraction, send a high voltage to your finger, and then that is brought into a negative place. You can say an aura, and then in a person with tremendous magnetic energy, the aura is very big. The person who is very sick, the aura is broken, and some other deformities may take place. You can take a leaf and cut it. You take first a Kirlian photography. You can see the aura of the full leaf, and then you cut the leaf, and still you immediately take a live leaf. Immediately you see still the aura, the full aura. You can see the phantom effect of the leaf. The magnetic current is still there, the psychic energy, and so the prana exists in our physical body. It has to come from the astral body, but we discharge it constantly through sexual act. That's why brahmacharya is important. If you want to control the spiritual energy, you can't just go on. Even married people should have certain control over the sexual energy. If you're continually discharging continuously, it won't last. The battery will be dead, and you won't be able to flash. And so that's why brahmacharya you can maintain for a week or 10 days or 15 days according to your mental capacity, but you can't suppress it. As I don't know, in this generally some of the electronic flashes, when the charge is taken place, the condenser is fully charged, and it must release it. Extra additional electrons will destroy the condenser, burn it. So there's an automatic flash. You got an automatic flash in this one? No. Some of the thing has got it, when it's charged completely, then it gives an automatic charge to release the extra energy. This is a safety mechanism, but some other things can then automatically, the cutoff is there after charging. So different ways are there. So also you cannot suppress your negative thoughts, your sexual thoughts, but you can sublimate it. Yoga, we are not trying to suppress it, sublimate it. Sublimation is when you chant, when you meditate, when you think of God, when you repeat Om Shri Durgaya Namaha. You don't see, it's a mantra, it's a word, Om Shri Durgaya Namaha, means I salute to Mother Durga, the cosmic mother. But your thought will change, thought pattern will change, because you are, when you repeat that mantra, you are not thinking woman as an object of pressure or as a toy. She is the mother, the cosmic mother. You start seeing in the woman the motherly aspect, the divine nature of in every woman. And that is the way how you sublimate the thought. So before when you saw a beautiful girl, the thought becomes, oh, she's beautiful, you got a cute hair, blonde hair and a cute nose. That the thought became very, very low. But now you see, oh, because you repeat the mantra constantly, suddenly you look at she is the divine mother, Durga. Her manifestation is only her manifestation. That beauty is cosmic mother's beauty. Her love is nothing, cosmic mother's love. Manifest through the mother. So you start thinking in this one, that's called thought change, called sublimation. So we cannot suppress your thoughts, we have to sublimate. So when you repeat any of your mantras, slowly your thoughts are sublimated. So also when you do pranayama, you are sublimating this gross energy, as I mentioned before, the gross water into steam. And when the water goes down in the lower direction, from the higher level to lower level, when it's heated, it becomes steam, it goes upward. So also your prana, before it comes from just like prana coming to your respiratory muscle to respiratory center impulses, so the impulse coming to your sexual organs constantly. Sometimes it's passionate, sometimes not so much. When this passion increases, then you have desire to eat and smoke, etc., or have sexual act. But you are controlling this impulse also when you do pranayama. You are not only holding the impulse of the lungs, but also going impulse which goes down to the Mooladhara chakra, our sexual organs. This is called Moola Bandha, we call it a lock, or stopping this impulse coming to the sexual muscles, which creates this central organs, etc. You stop it. And as the prana and apana, prana is stopped by holding the breath or locks here. The impulse is not coming. So the apana impulse is not going to lower organs. And at that time, just like the condenser, the Mooladhara becomes like a condenser. It starts charging energy. Again, it's not in theory, you can feel it as you progress. As you contract your inner sphincter muscles to Moola Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha, inhale, retake, pull up the energy from bottom. And that's called time. The condenser, Mooladhara, become very, very powerful. Before, as the condenser is continuously discharging also, it's connected to a valve. So as it continuously discharging, but here you are stopping this discharge and holding it to increase and then that energy, built up energy, you are not going to use for sensual experience or sexual experience or your negative thoughts or negative living or pressure seeking. You are going to bring that energy through your concentration to a specific area called Sushumna. That's the central canal. I'll touch up this subject this evening, but that's sufficient to understand. There are three basic nadis, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. I'll explain more scientific this evening. This particular central nadi is blocked, tremendous impurities or resistance there, tremendous resistance. As you practice pranayama alternate regularly, you charge and the condenser becomes constantly recharged here, and its normal passage is stopped. Normal passages, it goes to 72,000 nadis, the same energy. So it has got no power. But now as it stops through bandhas and locks and practice, concentration, and then it has to have a place to go. Just like it goes to the central canal like a bulb, it starts flashing. So each chakra starts flashing because energy is tremendous. This is called opening the Sushumna. And when the impurities are gone, less resistance in the Sushumna, then prana flows. In advanced yogis, prana flows easily to the Ajna chakra. Many others only go to first and second chakra. It takes several lives to get the prana to the higher chakras. It's not in one life, nothing possible in one life. It's very little time we have it. So if you have already practiced pranayama before, it's very easy to travel up to that. Beyond that, in a very short time, you can go. So some of you have practiced pranayama before through your thought control or through pranic control. Some of you have started just now in this life. It will take a long time to reach it. But progress is slow. There's no fast progress. Not anyone can give you any fast method. Like some people say, oh, if I come with me, I'll give you a Shakti Path, and you can just go by awakening Shakti in 2 seconds. Just get hit by the peacock feather, then you'll go up. They're all just not interested in truly talking about Kundalini. A guru can transfer prana to a certain extent to ignite the prana. But recharging, you have to practice yourself. Nobody can do it. Teacher will show you the method how to recharge through pranayama. And he'll get initial necessary a push to use that prana. That's all the prana, prana accumulated in one of the condenser. There's some blockage is there, the body wants to remove the blockage. That's called minor prana. There are 5 minor prana, there are major pranas I also try to discuss this evening if possible. So, the technique is then when you apply pranayama, or even without real bandha, physical bandha, when you hold the breath, you are applying bandha and allowing the energy to accumulate in one area. The accumulated energy then you flashes when you concentrate or do a bandha, Shakti Chalani, etc., there is physical and other exercises, then you discharge that to a particular area. At that time, your chakras start blazing that's called awakening the Kundalini or chakra, power of chakras. And there are each chakras vibrate in different wavelengths. Like 7 colors are there: violet, indigo, green, blue, yellow, orange, red. They're all nothing but waves. So each chakra acts as a wavelength. And then some of you only use the lowest wavelength, and their thought will be just only ice cream, pizza, and caviar, and drinking, and sex. That's all. They don't understand anything beyond that. And that will explain also in this evening how the thought is related to your prana. So in conclusion, this morning, now you understand why we are doing alternate breathing. To balance, also that balancing of the right hemisphere, left hemisphere, that's called Ida and Pingala, and the left nostril, right nostril breathing. It's also explained this evening. But now you got an idea about pranayama means when you retake, you are stopping the impulse. Both the respiratory muscle, simultaneously sending the impulse to your central and sexual organs or Mooladhara chakra too. So pranayama is not only just controlling the breath, physical breath, but controlling the sexual organs and sensual organs also. Then the energy will be sublimated and become very powerful. At that time, you will be successful in almost anything because energy can be used in art, in music, in scientific experiments, etc. In fact, all great scientists have certain amount of control over this energy. Like Einstein, he's the greatest mystical force is the greatest force is the mystical force, and the person who doesn't understand mystical nature, and he's as good as dead. Though he is a great mathematician, great scientist, he himself tells about the nature of the mystical energy. Unless it is mystical energy developed, you cannot do anything. If you want to be genius in anything, music, art, science, mathematics, even business, in your social life, doesn't matter. Wherever it is, it's called prana. And that's called personality, that's beauty. And when you increase the prana, you get automatically beauty without going to a beauty parlor and getting a permanent for $500, You got real permanent, And the beauty is not the beauty parlor. If you just go to beauty parlor and get a facelift and some painting, your face is just like a plastic flower. That's all. That plastic flower don't attract anything. But a real, you do pranayama, you get real beauty, real attraction. Even a man and woman, and they're attracted because they don't, even husband and wife for some years, they don't have attraction to each other. The physical attraction goes, and then eventually even the love attraction, emotional attraction also goes, and then man always want a younger person because they discharge too much of that energy. They can't recharge it again. They don't do any kind of recharge, and so that's why their attraction doesn't exist anymore. People don't understand. It's not merely physiological. It's not psychological. It's also psychic. And once this energy is conserved and you do pranayama, this love and attraction will be there all the time. Otherwise, a pizza is kissing another pizza. It's a dead body, So what you call that attraction and that man and woman attracted is because of this prana. And when you radiate this, people are attracted to you. So you don't have to go to beauty parlor, etc. Just do your pranayama regularly. Even beauty-wise, will be strong. So also your talk, your speech will be very powerful. Thoughts are very forcible now. It has got effect on others. Otherwise, it's just like an empty word, like a tape recorder, you know. Tape recorder talks, no one cares about it. So also you can talk like an empty tape recorder, or there's a prana, your thought will be forceful, your face will shine, your eyes will sparkle, and all that other things related to personality, beauty will come automatically to you. So these are the benefits of pranayama. That's our lower benefit. The higher benefit is the prana goes to Sushumna, and the higher chakras start operating. And higher the chakras you can open in one life, you will be reincarnated in higher dimension. There are also 7 dimensions there, and called 7th heaven, the last dimension. And you say, he's in the 7th heaven, when you say that word. And when a person is in extremely happy state, 7th heaven. This 7th heaven exists throughout the world. You go to any place, they say 7th heaven, they say, is it not? Everywhere, in every religion. But you don't know, then there must be 6th heaven behind also, then you see. There are 7 stories in a building, then there must be 6 flats also behind it. And all people cannot go to 7th, they only go to 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, and some go to 7th floor, 7th heaven. And that's called 7th heaven, means chakras operating the highest Sahasrara. And according to the nature of the chakras, you will be reincarnated. Suppose your Anahata chakra of the heart is operating, the Vayu is the gaseous nature, that is the 4th plane. You go to 4th dimension. We call dimensions of heaven. And the 3rd dimension, the 3rd heaven, 2nd dimension. Ordinary people go mostly to the 1st heaven, that's all. Advanced people with most good people with the character and so forth, they go to 2nd dimension. That's all mostly they can go. Because their Shakti will not go beyond that. The vibration is not high. Because according to the nature of your vibration, you are tuned to a particular plane. Just like the nature of the radio, the receiver is there. The receiver can, some receiver only can have a short wave, others can take it medium wave and the long wave and the FM, etc. According to the nature of the particular radio or even the frequencies, you can get a particular station. Same thing, your chakra is actually stations. When your chakra is vibrating, then you are drawn to a particular dimension after you drop the physical body. That never takes place for the astral body. Because all the chakras are in the astral body, all the pranamaya kosha, the vital sheath in the astral body, your mind is in the astral body, your subconscious intellect, everything is astral body. Physical body only reacts in this dimension. But once this dimension you live, you are drawn to that particular plane according to the vibration of your, because you are tuning automatically to a particular wavelength, and that's called higher dimension. So advanced yogis go to 4th, 5th and 6th, and then from there on the evolution is normal, and they go in the transcendental state. Ordinary people just go reincarnate and come back, 1st and 2nd, continuously go back and come back every 100 years, 200 years. So, but advanced you will stay in higher dimensions for a longer time. So that's called awakening the Kundalini Shakti or awakening the chakras. So in conclusion, remember these 3 points: condenser, the capacitor which charges, and charge it to pranayama, the Muladhara chakra, and then use it not for enjoyment or pleasure sakes, but to awaken the Shakti. And suddenly concentrate, it will flash through your chakras. And one day you feel it, you can experience this. Your body, your mind, everything, your whole vibratory level will change. This is all you have to experience. There's no way I can give you that technique, that experience you have to practice. You can tell you the honey is good. I can explain about the nature of the honey, how it tastes, etc. But still, it's all theory. Until you take a drop of honey in your mouth, you will never know how the honey tastes. So you heard about honey, prana. Now you practice. And how long? How long you practice? 10 years? Or 5 days course? Or 10 days correspondence course? And some people say, you can have 10 days correspondence course, you know. Send you $150, I'll send you a mantra, and also you get a prana technique for 10 days correspondence course. And your 3rd day, your Kundalini will go, 3rd lesson will come, bring a Kundalini to Anahata chakra, and 5th lesson you will get the 6th lesson you will get the Kundalini to Ajna chakra, and the 7th heaven, 7th chakra you get, and then you are realized. But then why they want money if they had so much, they have the power to bring all your chakras? Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvanam Pravatyate. He said, Bahunam Janma, many lives it takes, not in one life. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, it's not in one life, many lives. You want to come and sit and hear this lecture and practice all the discipline. How many lives it took to come and hear? You tell the same thing to your parents. And your friends, what stupids you are all. You didn't come to see the fireworks and went for the party for the New Year Independence Day. What stupids are you? What did you hear there? Oh, Swamiji asked to find out who am I. You don't know who you are. You are mad. You don't know who you are. And you go and tell your parents, Swamiji said, please find out who am I. That is really go crazy. You don't know that you are my son. He forgotten all about it. And the Swamiji said, and awaken the Kundalini. You can get that, just take some coke. Many parents are, I saw in the television, parents are taking and they're giving, the children are accustomed to take the coke because the parents are taking, they're not only stealing, the parents are taking, they're taking, the very small children. Unbelievable, the suffering, young people. So you can have the Kundalini in one day with one coke, especially crack, they say, I heard about it, power of the crack. It is the pure stuff. Within 5 seconds, even coke takes time, it seems, half an hour or so. This crack, it seems only 1 millisecond, 5 seconds, it reaches directly the brain, and if a whole sastra is exploding, that's what I heard they're talking about. Sastra explodes, actually, explosion of sastra takes place. And immediately depression takes place all the next minute. And then again they had to take it to inflate. And so this depression not only retards the progress in this life, it affects your psychic body, astral body violently. You are destroying its astral nature and more. And your next life and next life and next life, you will not be able to remove this impurity. So purify your system through that asana, very important asana, postures, your right that, chanting, satsanga, mantra, japa, and kirtans, etc., with the devotion. You do this regularly, slowly, the chakra will purify, nadis will purify, and energy start building up the Muladhara chakra, and powerful energy will just bring up the Shakti, Kundalini into operation. That's static energy, Kundalini is a static state. I will explain that this evening. And they become kinetic. That's called awakening the Kundalini. From the static to kinetic state, and your thought, your understanding, everything will change. Oh, that's it. With that I'll conclude. Any questions? I think today, tomorrow, tonight we can ask questions. So I'll conclude. Let's practice a few minutes. Sound, Om, inhale, Om, exhale, just for a few minutes, your energy will be brought to the higher centers automatically. Om Triambakam Yajamvahe Sugandhi Pushtivardhanam Purvarvardhanam Vishyo Yushiyamamritam Om Triambakam Yajamvahe Sugandhi Pushtivardhanam Purvarvardhanam Vishyo Yushiyamamritam Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Sattu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Makashe Dukhabhava Bhave Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirkamaya Mrityurma Amritam Kamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadakshyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Peace. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, thou art Satchitananda, thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute, thou art the King, dweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us the spiritual strength to resist temptation and control mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold Thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever.
बोलो सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की
Jai.
Side, side, side.
Shankara, Sama Sadashiva, Uma Maheshwara, Jai Jayarati, Raja Rajeshwari, Raja Rajeshwari, Tripura Sundari, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Mahakali, Mahashakti, Jai Jayarati, Anjaneya, Anjaneya, Hanumanta, Jai Jayarati, Dattatreya, Dattatreya, Tribhuti-Avatara, Jai Jayarati, Adijaya, Adijaya, Bhaskaraya, Jai Jayarati, Sanishwaraya, Sanishwaraya, Bhaskaraya, Jai Jayarati, Sadgurunatha, Sadgurunatha, Shivananda, Jai Jayarati. So come to Canada, we'll compose them, okay?
Okay.
And all Gujaratis you can make that, okay?
All right, thanks.
Beautiful day, huh? And you have to protect from the deer. If you don't, they are going to eat all those things.
Okay, sir.
Put a big fence, okay? Very nice. Very,
That
very
lady brought all those plants
very
and
nice. More like that. Rose flowers everywhere, you see. And different kind of perennials also, you see. There are rose perennials like that, so people can
it's on video now. I have to now it's on video. The record. I have to put
okay,
it.
good.
I'll put a little more pressure on your elbows and slowly bring your
Shanti